I think that if you have fine hair, you can make it look super elegant and super beautiful. And here's how. So what I want to do is talk about both habits and products, because I really think it's a combination of both. So I just want to talk a little bit about hair types, because you may be unsure of what your hair type is, and your hair type really is so pinnacle to your hair care routine, because without knowing it, you're really not going to understand like what you should be doing and what products you should be using. There are only 3 hair types. It's really simple. You have the fine hair, the medium hair, and the thick and coarse hair. For reference, I think that my hair is really a combo of medium and fine. And when I was younger, my stylist used to say it was a combo of like medium and thick. But as we get wiser and our hair goes through different types of traumas, especially like chemical processing and just the aging process, like your hair texture will change. But I think that we can make our hair, as it gets finer, I think we can make it look super beautiful. And I have been there, done that over the years. Of course, I've been changing my routine to find the one that fits my hair present day. And I think, without being overzealous, I think I really have the routine down pat to really make my hair look its best. And the goal for hair that's on the finer side might not be fine, maybe a mix like mine, medium and fine. I think just the goal is to make it look as elegant and beautiful as possible with what we have, and then the overall appearance, I think, will be absolutely gorgeous for our hair. So let's define what fine hair is. Some people may think that they don't have a lot of hair, so it's fine. It doesn't have anything to do with the amount of hair. It has to do with the actual diameter of each strand, and that diameter is just smaller. So you could have a lot of hair, but the actual diameter of each hair is just smaller. So now that we've diagnosed our hair and we know what our hair type is, what does that mean exactly for the hair? Well, you'll usually see people that have hair on the finer side that it looks more limp. It can also look greasier quicker after it's washed, and then just generally it may look more flat. The good news, and this is great news, if you have hair that's on the finer side, I believe it can look so elegant and so beautiful if we adopt certain habits and use certain products. Okay, let's go into the first point. This habit will change everything. It is our washing. It is our shampoo. I currently am using the number 4 luxury. It's a high performance hair care line for several reasons. It is sulfate free. It is very lightweight. It is very concentrated, and it is very hydrating. So typically when we're using hydrating products, they could feel very heavy, and they could really weigh down our hair. I love Pureology. I started using Pureology as a teenager because my stylist told me about it, and I was using the Hydrate line, which is the purple bottle. Then I moved into the Strength Care line. I still love Pureology, but it is on the heavier side, everybody. So I don't ever want to forego moisture in my hair, but I also don't want to have to swap it with having really limp hair or like lifeless hair. So I've loved Pureology for years and years and years, and I especially like using it during the winter when I think my hair needs that extra moisture and hydration. But I started using different shampoos during the summers, especially when I'm traveling in more tropical climates, and I think this has made a big difference for my hair type. So Kevin Murphy has a very beautiful weightless line. Number 4 has a very beautiful weightless line, and with these products you'll get a very concentrated product that is hydrating, but it's lightweight. So let's talk about number 4 for a moment here. I started using their products several months ago, and it's a hydrating moisturizing line, and they also have the volume line. I did not want to forego any hydration, so I made sure that I got the most hydrating line, and I thought, wow, I don't know if I can continue to use this line throughout the year. That was before I had tried it, but my stylist had been using it on me for a while, the Salon, and I can honestly say that this is the most lightweight / moisturizing and hydrating product that I have tried on my hair. The key here is that it's super concentrated yet lightweight, so it moisturizes your scalp with oatmeal. There's yerba mate in here, soy yogurt, black currant, golden seal. So all very moisturizing ingredients, but that don't weigh down your hair. And that is super key to having hair that's finer, because we don't want to weigh down our hair, and it really does make a difference. By the way, full transparency, I did later on become an affiliate, so there is a link for you if you want to try number 4 hair care. There's an affiliate link below, and if you use that specific link to try the products, you'll get 20% off anything you want to try. So what I would recommend from that specific line, if you want to try, I've only used the hydrate line. I haven't used the volume line, but as soon as I use the volume line, I will definitely review it. I have done an in-depth review on number 4. There are a lot of good, lighter weight, high concentrated, high moisture shampoos. It's really, guys, it's trial and error. And because I haven't tried all of them, I cannot recommend all of them. If you want to look into other products, like Kevin Murphy is great. You just have to find the right product for your hair type. As with Australia 11, as with Joico, as with Redken, you need to find the right line that suits you. And for, like I mentioned, the finer hair, you want to ensure that you're using something that's not going to weigh down your hair. Second habit is conditioner, and we're basically talking about that whole concept again. When you wash, you condition. Again, the conditioner, and you can really lump this in with like your deep mask or like your hair mask, deep conditioning. I was finding that the heavier, more hydrating, more moisturizing conditioning masks, they were weighing down my hair to the point that my hair looked limp. Please keep in mind, I did go through Tuligen and Fluvium. I have videos on that where my hair was so dull and limp and awful because of the intense shedding. So I now can really understand that my hair is finer, and I know that I cannot use the same types of products I used to use. That whole experience really opened my eyes to that. So since then, especially, I noticed that a lighter weight conditioner, but that's moisturizing, works much better on my hair. And for us who have finer hair, just make sure you stay away from the root. For anybody, I mean, conditioner is for mids to ends. I even go up to my ears, and then whatever is left over, you know, I pat here. There's definitely nothing wrong with that. But here's the key takeaway here. If you have a supercharged conditioner, I mean, there are brands that I love and they're so supercharged, but they just don't work for me because they weigh down my hair. I had to give away so many products to friends and my sister who has super coarse hair, and they work completely different. So what I like to stick with when it comes to conditioners and masks, lighter consistencies. So I love the entire range of number 4, from clarifying shampoo, conditioner to masks to elixirs, so on and so forth. But there are other amazing lines. If we're talking like masks, I love the Tsubaki Japanese mask. I also really like the Dove, which is a very inexpensive, but it's a 10-in-1, a beautifully formulated mask. And the key component to those 2 masks that I mentioned is that it's a serum. So for my specific hair type, I can't do I love Pureology, but I can't do their masks anymore. It's just too heavy for my hair as it's changed. So I like to stick more with the serum type masks, and I find they are so light. They are so nutritive for my hair, and then I get the best results because it's not weighed down and it's not limp. Next habit for fine hair, this could be controversial when it comes to combing and brushing. I still use my coconut infused wide tooth comb. I know they say that wide tooth combs could really rip through your hair, but there are 2 instances where I think that we can use them, again, depending on hair type. If your hair is finer and if your hair is textured. My hair is both fine now, fine and medium, and it's also very wavy. So I started using the coconut infused wide tooth comb a few years ago when I was going through that shedding, and it literally was the only thing that I could use. Here's the key to using that comb, everybody. When you feel a knot, you need to stop. I've seen people say, oh, it'll rip through your hair. It'll rip through your hair if you keep going. So what I like to do is I use it for the very first step out of the shower after the leave-in, and we're going to get to the leave-in after the shower, but to detangle, the first thing I need to do, especially with wavy curly hair, I know I don't have a curl pattern, but I know I've seen a lot of girls with curl patterns. They'll comb their hair in the shower or brush it with a thick conditioner. If you have a wave pattern like mine, what I like to do is afterwards after the shower, I just take my wide tooth comb and gently I'm separating the wave patterns. It's just the first step. After that, super careful with my tangle teasers. I love my wet brushes, and I'm just super gentle with. I mean, I treat my hair like satin, which will be another point to this video, but satin, satin, satin. Super gentle and super soft, and when you get to a knot, you need to stop. Well, you should never rip through them anyways. And then with the ends, I am super careful as well when it comes to brushing, because with the wide tooth comb, you can get a little overzealous and start pushing and just cause some issues with the bottom, which I learned the hard way when I was in Athens. A stylist told me that the wide tooth comb, when I was working there, I was getting my hair done. She's like, if you push it too hard, especially towards the bottom, it can really cause you split ends and uneven ends. I've become quite aware of that. So here's the moral of the story. With anything you use, you need to be super gentle. So if I would recommend the coconut infused wide tooth comb, you have to know how to use it. You need to be careful. You need to go slowly, especially on the ends. We don't want to split them up, and then go in with your tangle teasers and wet brushes. Fourth habit is smart drying. I mean, this drawer down here on the bottom is full of 100% cotton t-shirts, and those t-shirts are used in the shower. I use two. One, after the shampoo, I'm wringing out all the water so that way it has a beautiful consistency. It's not soaking wet to absorb the leave-in or the conditioner, depending on what I'm doing. And then after I rinse out my hair and I'm done with the shower, I then use, again, a beautiful t-shirt, beautiful 100% cotton, and I'm wringing my hair out. And this is key: you're going to wring your hair out in one direction. It's never this. Obviously, we no longer use bath towels. You know, that's ages ago. I think bath towels are now, I would call them pretty primitive, right? So, I mean, everyone's into the microfiber towels or the t-shirt towels. I love t-shirts. I just feel like they work the best for my hair. They are so convenient. I wring out all the water in one direction, never in different directions, especially if our hair is fine and medium. What are we most prone to, guys, if our hair is fine and medium? Tangles. Our hair is very, very prone to tangles. So next point is oiling, which is super important. If our hair is on the finer or medium side, what does that mean? It means that we're going to be more prone to tangles, especially if we have a lot of hair, because our hair is smaller in diameter. And when it's windy outside, I can tell you this, not from scientific research, but from personal experience. And I have a video on this when I was working in Cyprus and it was so windy and I had my hair down and it wasn't properly oiled and it wasn't pinned back or braided. I had 2 giant spider knots here by the end of a few hours. And there's nothing else. I know somebody wrote me here that on YouTube that don't cut them, you can comb through them. A spider knot, it feels like a hard rock. I don't know how to comb through those. So I ended up actually having to rip them out. It was a pretty horrifying experience, but that's why this point is so important. With fine hair, I believe that we need to have our ends oiled, and we need to always make sure that our ends are sealed with oil in order to encapsulate all of that moisture. So after we've come out of the shower and we do our leave-in conditioner, we're always oiling the ends. Now that's to seal in all the moisture, but it is also to protect us from those nasty knots when we go outside. So before I get into the products and my product recommendations, I have them over there. I also, for this last point, I wanted to talk about heat styling, and specifically if your hair tends to get frizzy. My hair has all of the above, so it's fine, medium, tangly, frizzy. So this I think is really important and has really helped me with my styling. When you're out of the shower and your hair is wet and you take a hot styling tool, heat plus wet equals humidity equals frizz. You may notice that when you're somewhere quite tropical, your hair is super frizzy. That's because heat and water will give you humidity. So what has really saved me is always, for the first few minutes when I am drying the hair out of the shower, it's always with cool air, because the cool air will not give you that frizziness when your hair is soaking wet. After like the first round, when my hair feels like it's getting dry, then I can add a little bit heat. But to be honest, I have the Revel. I did a video on that. It's like a Dyson type dupe or a Shark type dupe. I find I don't ever need to go past the second setting. I will increase airflow before I increase heat. Again, that's more damaging when you have more heat, but also for the frizziness. I will keep it on cool and I will keep it on the first airflow, and then when I want more, like more power, I just increase the airflow and then I'll keep it on the cool setting. And then I remember I think it was the last time I blow dried my hair, I pumped it up one setting on the heat. It just dried a little bit faster, but honestly, you can do it on cool and your hair will thank you. It'll be a lot smoother. For me, I think my hair looks less frizzy, overall smoother, a little bit shinier, and just feels better when I keep it on the cooler settings and I increase the airflow. Okay, it's time for products, everybody. And of course, I have my product drawer. It is so full, but I'm just going to go through a few of them today. We talked about samples when it comes to shampoos and conditioners. The samples or examples I mentioned were like, I love number 4, once again, affiliate link below, but Kevin Murphy has some great products for finer hair, Australia 11, Joico. So you need to go through all the product ranges to find the actual range that's great in that product line. Okay, so that's shampoo and conditioner. Okay, leave-in conditioner, Pureology, my love. I've been using this since the bottle used to be purple. Formula stayed the same, they just changed the packaging. You will not feel that this is in your hair. That's all I can say about it. There are tons of benefits in here, but I think they call it 21 essential benefits. But I can tell you the primary benefit, guys, is just conditioning your hair. You're just reconditioning your hair after you come out of the shower. There's a little bit of heat protection in here, and there's a little bit of like smoothness, helps with detangling, but we need to add in the conditioner that we wash out. And with this product here, you just don't feel that it's in your hair. It is so lightweight. It is just that good. Okay, it is on the more expensive side. If anybody has an alternative to this, please let me know. I unfortunately don't have an alternative for this. I've never found one. Okay, so I used to use Olaplex number 6 in addition to this because of my tangles and just my hair really needs TLC when it comes out of the shower. I'm literally pulling it apart, especially when I'm at the salon getting my hair done and I bring my own brushes and I'm pulling apart that hair. I used to use Olaplex number 6 for this, and then it doubles up as a styling product. Can't use it anymore. It's too heavy for me. I love it. It's just too heavy for me. So I got this from Sally's Beauty. They call it a dupe. It's the Bond Bar styling cream. It's not a dupe. It's very lightweight. It smells so good. It's very lightweight and it helps me detangle and give my hair a little bit extra moisture after I've put the leave-in spray, and it is so lightweight. So it's repair, protect, hydrate. It's a very light addition, but this is safe if you have hair on the finer side. Will not weigh it down, will not weigh it down. It's a decent product. Next, before the blow dry, once again, an amazing product that you will not feel it's in your hair. I guess it's like a weightless heat protector, and this comes in a jelly format, and it is called the Big Blowout from Redken, and it protects your hair without weighing it down. And if you want that volume, I do not know how to blow dry my own hair. I have to go to my hairdresser if I want it to look anything like this, and then I'll just keep it in a bun and I'll get like natural heatless waves. But I'm telling you, if you actually know how to blow dry, this is incredible. It will give you great volume, but for me, what it does is it protects my hair, and I feel like it does give me a little bit of a lift here. I use it basically from root to tip. You need a pea-size amount. Make sure you get this one. It's the jelly formula. This is fantastic for finer hair. It's good for all hair, but for finer hair, it'll give you that oomph and won't weigh you down. Styling products. I've got a couple for you. I am not big on styling products. I just let my hair do its thing naturally. So if you want like a gel that's very, very soft, like you will not feel this in your hair, this one. If you want a hold, this is not the one for you. This is the Bumble and Bumble Surf Gel. I bought it initially because I love the smell. So I wanted to love this even more than I do. I like it, but it doesn't have a hold. But the good thing is it's not going to weigh down your hair, and it doesn't feel like there's anything in your hair. So I mean, the common denominator here is that these products won't weigh down your hair and you won't feel like there's anything in your hair here. Another styling product, this one is from Sunbum. You may know that from the sunscreen and the suntan lotions. So this smells incredible. It's a texturing Sea Spray. I do have another texture spray behind me here, but this one it gives you like that. This actually works really well. You feel it a little bit in your hair. It makes you feel like you've been at the beach all day, and it gives you a little bit of hold. And I've actually used it on damp hair and dry hair, and it doesn't really work on dry hair, just made it a little bit sticky. So dampen up your hair or do this on wet hair, and I really like this stuff. Once again, very lightweight. You will feel it a little bit in your hair, but it won't weigh down your hair. So this I really like for finer hair. Now we have to take out the big guns. We have somewhere to go. We need ultimate texture in our hair. We're gonna get the dry finish texture spray from Australia 11. Fantastic product. Once again, I don't like using a lot of products in my hair, but my hairstylist, this is courtesy of him, and wow, he was completely right. This I use actually in lieu of hairspray. So let's say I've just done my heatless waves. I can grab this. It's going to give my hair some texture, some volume, some body, and I just love it. It smells like a warm breeze summer day. It just makes your hair, gives you that extra body and the texture, and it just makes you feel great. Okay, last product I'm going to show you are the oils. I'm going to show you 3 today. This is the cold pressed grapeseed oil that I absolutely love, and this is I just put some in a travel bottle because I don't travel without it. It is so light, guys. I double up. I use this on my ends. So lightweight and beautiful. You will not feel this is on your hair, but I also use this as a pre-wash. I leave it on half an hour before I go into the shower. It protects the hair, detangles the hair, gives you a more beautiful, smoother result. And before any water touches your hair, if you have this in, your chances of getting tangles are a lot lower. It just looks beautiful on the hair. Grapeseed oil has your vitamin E, has your linoleic acid. I actually use it all over my face as well, so it's great for sensitive skin, okay? Another beautiful, very lightweight oil is your Olaplex 7, which has, of course, the trademark bond protector in here. This also helps us with heat protection, helps us with styling. You won't know this is in your hair. If your hair's on the finer side and you're afraid of oils, you will not know that this is in your hair. It is beautiful. And the dispenser is this. It's a tap, tap, tap. So I tap 1 to 3 times. Yes, sometimes just 1 tap is all you need, because what is it with these products? They are very concentrated. So I've had great experiences with this, and I highly recommend this. And then here I also recommend the Blonde Life Brilliant Glow. This gives my hair the most radiant shine out of all the oils. It's got a beautiful group of ingredients. Tamanu oil, it's got arginine in it. So very moisturizing ingredients, and they deliver a lot of shine, especially for blondes. And you know, those of us who are like golden blonde, your hair needs lighter products, especially if we color it like I think it's called the amla oil. That's the amber colored oil. I would not recommend that for colored lighter hair. I've seen it on brunettes, and that is stunning. But from the research that I've done, I would stay away from that. Way too heavy for fine hair, and then also for colored hair, I would say no, because it may stain it. So the difference is that this is thicker and heavier than these. So I wouldn't use this on freshly washed hair. I use this on like day 2 and afterwards. It has a slow release technology, which means it's also reparative. So it's going to be repairing your hair as it's on your hair, but you really need to work it well into your hands before you put it on your hair. It's not like the lighter oils, okay? This will weigh your hair down if you don't use it correctly. So you really need to warm it up really well between your hands, use a small amount, and I would probably use this on like day 2 hair. Okay, so we've gone through washing to styling, and my last point would be the cut. So this is my personal opinion. If your hair's on the finer side, I would definitely stay away from doing a lot of layering. I would stick with the face framing layers. So what I do is I do face framing layers, and then he blends them in just to smooth them all out. I could probably do with a bit more, but I will look at that in my next salon visit. I don't like layers in the back. It just makes the hair look too fine. And mind you, I have had a lot of layers, mostly from bad haircuts, and I can tell you on fine hair, they just do not work. And so that's a great segue into the last point. Just go with it. Go with your own hair type. When you're seeing these beautiful pictures online that you're trying to mimic, but you have a different hair type, first of all, don't feel bad about that. You're never gonna get that specific look. I have brought so many pictures when my hair was changing to my stylist, and he said, well, that person has extremely thick hair and they have a lot of it. So if I cut up your hair into layers, it's just not going to look like that. So make sure that you know your hair type and you do what's best for your hair type. For my hair type, face framing layers work well. Layers do not work well in the back, or that V shape, the square shape does not work well. What works well that we do is face framing and sort of like rounded corners. I wouldn't really even say a U shape. I started finding like photos with models that mimicked my hair type. Guess what? The style looked way better. So you got to go with your own hairstyle, adopt the right habits, and your fine hair will look gorgeous and elegant all the time. If you're dealing with like fine medium hair and you have some secrets that you want to share and help us all, I'd love for you to include them in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.